go.
I think the lane's fine, but yeah, I'd be a bit worried about not having mana and then the Ice Blast on the Ancient Apparition.
Radiant team pick.
Legion Commander.
Okay. That's something you were saying about when we were seeing in the earlier series, the Ancient Apparition and the Nyx Assassin, where you were very reliant on having this burst potential. And so Legion's going to kind of take that still out of effect with a setup for that Ice Blast, which is nice and really does enable the Medusa as well. Instant answer in the toss. So a great defensive way to protect the dual target. Now hear me out. I don't know if it's going to happen.
Remaining.
I really don't think it is because it's really greedy. But they banned out a lot of Bob's heroes. And there was a time ago when we were seeing the Phantom Lancer mid lane versus Invoker. Now they really don't deal with illusions at all from Galaxy Racer. It's really greedy with Medusa. Like really, really, really greedy. But I'm all for it.
Dire team.
You know what? We'll let you have this.
Skywrath Mage.
They're just gonna go for the kill potential for now. For now, I mean this could be the mid Skywrath, just comboing together with the Legion Commander, making sure that you're gonna come online in around the same time. Maybe go for that pre 10 minutes rotation and combo. Skywrath's already very fast. You're gonna have a good amount of farm. Maybe 2 or 3 null talismans super early on. I mean the downside to that is you get caught once with that EMP and you're taking a ton of damage. That's for sure. And of course, very vulnerable to the Tusk rotations as well, having quite low armor. If this is to be a position 4 or 5, it's okay. Probably more likely to be the 4, just to lane together. Get a little bit more farm, have the melee Nyx Assassin with the Medusa. I mean, you'll at least have the spiked Carapace to be able to stop any sort of Chaos Bolt Reality Rift combos. Same sort of thing with the tag team. We'll see, though.
Okay, so we're looking for... Are we feeling like this is a Mizu Chaos Knight? Or...
Yeah.
So, last pick here for In Your Dream. They got 24th pick as well. They don't have many ways to jump the backline here from Southbelt. Storm, Ember banned out, Puck banned out as well. You're really reliant on the Nyx to somehow get a catch on a backline. That's very difficult and has to be situational on where the enemy team is positioning. It's really all on the Legion this game, Blink. And we see a lot of time the way to deal with Medusa is outranging her. Sniper, Arc Warden, perfect example. Is there... I feel like it's more going to depend on what this hero is for South Build. So I guess that's what we should be looking at first here. Because then if they go for a gap close, maybe they consider otherwise.
Void Incarnate.
Above Void Spirit.
They could go a sniper. They could. I mean, it's something that In Your Dream likes to play. They don't have an insane amount of gap close. Like Legion Commander has the blink. You're going to need to play around trees a fair amount, and the Void Spirit makes it a little bit harder. You could also go something like a Ricky, you know, and go for a few more of those setups with, you know, you sleep dart them and then you just get ready for the combination afterwards with the smoke cloud and then burst them down within a Chaos Bolt AA ulti. Also can just take a Medusa out of a team fight for a few seconds, which is oftentimes all you need to be able to maneuver around and get into a better position. It's a bit more active as well, which means that, you know, the Chaos Knight, we saw when Mizu was playing it in that game number 1 versus South builds. You got the Midas, he's getting the Cleave Talent at level 15, and he's becoming, you know, not a semi-carry. He is a carry in his own right. So we shall see, though. And I say that because In Your Dream is a Ricky player, very much so. One of his best heroes.
15 seconds left. It's nice when you can have your carry with this ultra last pick. They're gonna go lifesteal.
Choose your hero.
I was gonna question about bringing it up because I like lifesteal versus Legion with that little bit of sustain through the duel. Sometimes if you're really far ahead, you just out lifesteal the damage. You got Rage through the sky. They could get to a stage where if Void Spirit's got a really, really good game and the silence against the lifesteal could be annoying. The Ancient Seal as well. But apart from that, like, you're also running into a Medusa, and that's what Medusa wants.
Right? Like that's my big worry for right now. So it's going to be all on Mizu to disrupt a lot of these team fights. I think this time around, did he get a blink in that previous game? I'm not sure if he did. I think he might have just gone full in onto the damage component, but I feel like a blink is needed this time around just to be able to get in onto the Skywrath Mage before he's able to get his full combo off. If you can blink right on top of the Void Spirit as well, you've still got, Like, I think it's 0.2 or 0.3 second cast animation on the dissimulate, so there is the potential for the catch there. Still, it's going to be hard to start a lot of these team fights for Galaxy Racer.
That it is, yeah. Like you're saying, it's really relying on Mizu going for a blink, Invoker having a relatively good game. I think it's also has to be said that I feel like Galaxy Racer could be in the driver's seat if Yocam has a good performance. Like, you really disrupt a lot of the damage that's going to get dished out here, a lot of the bursts. You go for a Legion, Skywrath combo, that means you're all reliant on getting Jewel, dropping Mystic Flare. But if Tusk 1 is positioning great through the early game, and then second, if he can get a relatively good blink timing, I think they just lose two big ultimates, two big, damage dishing output abilities, and then you are now really, really relying on the Medusa. So I think that could definitely be a big way here for Galaxy Racer to really swing a lot of the damage output that South will be looking to dish out.
Yeah, and that's why I was initially thinking, oh, maybe this is going to be a Skywrath mid because, you do decent against the Invoker, and as well on top of that, you're going to be perhaps a little bit too fast for some of these timings, particularly for the supports. The Tuster only needs levels, of course, to be able to get the snowball off, but if he doesn't have much in the form of mobility, if he's constantly having to spend money on TP scrolls and moving around the map, you're not going to be putting on that offensive presence that Tusk is really renowned for. But it's just going to be Bob playing the mid lane Void Spirit. It kind of feels like the sixth cab off the rank for Bob. He's still very good at the hero, but not on the same level as his Storm Spirit, Puck, Ember Spirit, these type of heroes.
It does still feel like we've seen Bob pop off on this hero before. Like, it's kind of similar to what we were saying about FPZ, that like, it still feels like he's got so many heroes that are just in his hero pool and that he can play at a very high level. Have game one now for our last series of the night. Galaxy taking on Southbill. We again saw Galaxy Racer previously in their series debut. They were able to tie that 1-1. Looking to try and
30 seconds
continue to get on the scoreboard here for Southbill as well for themselves. Unfortunately, they dropped their series yesterday. Keep in mind, they are playing with a stand-in on Mob, no Abar once again.
Of course, Mob powered up by his sponsor as well.
I'm not
Big
going
rotation
to...
through. Always have to be worried against the Tusk. Zenki, he has no fear. Same sort of thing with Samael, with only one armor. Has to be a little bit cautious here. No cares in the world. And Ryu, he should be fast enough to get away.
Zoom.
Yeah.
Does at least allow Mizu to get both of them up top. So it's a 3-for-1. Good little start in the extra goal. We are back to seeing as well the Chaos Knight in the left lane. How do we feel this is going to fare? Because it is definitely up against a different matchup here for Mizu in that Medusa safe lane with the Nyx Assassin as a 5 as well. Do you feel like Mizu should be able to have a good lane farming wise?
I think Mizu is. I don't think Zenki's going to have a good time at all, though. He's just going to be chunked down regularly by Yocam and the CK, especially once CK hits 2. Let's see here. They just want to make sure that they make that happen as soon as possible. Getting the pull off here onto the camp. I don't know if Yocam, he's just going to avoid even waiting around to body block.
Oh.
This Cam, he got a hard camp for himself. Takes a few right clicks. He's going to be good, though. I mean, Zenki, if he wants, can pull this camp. He's got the Harpy camp, which does a pretty good job of clearing out creep waves. And now, I mean, if the CK, who he's level 2, sure, if he wants to get any kind of experienced lead over this Deucer, and more importantly, the Nyx Assassin, he's going to have to back right off. Eventually, they do get the pull-off. So nicely done there by Zenki, but can be put down to a little bit of a misplay by Yocam.
Sweet. Take a look at the mid lane at the moment. Bob is quite the time. 12-2. But to the 7-0 at the moment here from Alacrity. I guess early on we do see there's a bit of a damage issue from this Coswex Invoker, especially against a melee with a Quelling Blade. So Bob should be able to have a good time early on with harassment. How do we feel like these two are going to end up faring though in the early game? Is it just all on these rotations here?
I think so. I mean, you've got the stronger rotations coming through from Galaxy Race, well, rotation rather, from Yokam. I don't feel like the Skyreth Mage is in a position to put too much pressure in onto the Invoker. You know, you're going to be able to get away. You've got some decent regen coming through from the Quas. Not as much as you used to, but still. Remember that game where we cast where there was Invoker that went bottle? And I was like, what the hell is going on? Bottle's not that strong.
It's like, you really going to be spamming out abilities or... Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Top lane, Zenki. Well, you were saying it was going to be in a whole world of pain, and it's already showing. First blood picked up. Bizzo and Yokam. So far, these two have been laning very well together through... Well, this is third game now.
Mm-hmm. Well, at least he's going to be able to snare the largest of those troll creeps.
You can get all of them?
Well, okay, Jokam does his job by blocking up the camp anyway. Maybe he just knew that it was blocked with that ward was dropped down, but well, we've got a little bit of rotation here. The ice shards get pulled off, and they've even got the tag team in here.
It's a lot of damage. But that's like no mana now. You can't really harass out with a snake. Get another. I think that was just a deny from some AO. Yeah, tier 2 tower. Okay. So denied his life. He did win that trade.
Yeah. I wonder if it's even worth Zenki getting, like, it's going to make you die a couple more times, but it's going to reduce a lot of the harassment that's coming through onto the Deucer. Maybe if he goes, like, level 2 mana burn, just making sure that this Tusk doesn't have any way to really go in with that tag team. It only costs 70, but he's only sitting on about 100 mana right now.
Yokam, can he go back in? Because Mom's completely out of mana. In fact,
see you later, career with Boots.
That's a big core to get. Boots, Observer Ward
as well.
Yeah, I think that was a sell too from Mob. So he's only got 1 Tango left. I mean, Zenki's got 3 to give over potentially, but they're gonna think about diving. Impale gets a stun on 1. He's just taking a lot of damage. Yokam with that extra point in the tag team. One more click. No, the tag team expires. He still gets
Got
it.
him.
A great trade coming through from the Tusk. Meanwhile, down bot as well. And Ryu should be able to make it back to safety. But you see the harassment that's starting to build out here. Bob gets a solo though.
There would be no
That's without the ultimate
Were we
too.
expecting any less from Bob?
Very true.
Yeah, he just got the ulti from that kill. He didn't have it beforehand, otherwise he would have used it. But, I mean, that just goes to show, you know, I was talking about, might it have been worth for Zenki to get the level 2 mana burn. And because he didn't, they were able to go in with that Tusk. And a kill happened onto Marv that probably shouldn't have. You know, the Tusk has no right to be diving that deep with the tag team onto a position 1 Medusa.
And Mizu's now already level 5, so 3 points up in the Chaos Strike. His damage output,
bounty.
even the lifesteal as well, just so he can further trade in the laning stage, is going to be really nice here for Mizu. Zenki?
Oh.
Should
That's
be
revealed
a
a ward.
ward. Yes, now Zenki. Spike Carapace. Still very high roll of the stun. That damage is just through the roof right now. Like, so what do you do? Does Zenki actually just... It feels like he has to play for pulls, but he hasn't de-warded the small camp. So you can't
And it's an observer ward as well.
Yeah.
So I would be stunned if he doesn't come back to the lane. Well, he's already got a sentry ward, but when he comes back... No, he's actually going mid just to help Bob out a little bit. Makes sense. You've got the haste rune spawning here as well, so you're going to make Bob's life even easier. Now what's happening up on this top side? I mean, Marb's just trying to man fight against Mizu. I think he's going to do just fine.
Oh, they're bringing Bob.
Jokam's backed off. Yeah.
I like this rotation.
Really nice.
Mizu's got to retreat at a decent amount away, but will not matter. Bob, that's a real big kill to pick up. This lane was starting to slowly get out of control for the side of South built. Bob, once again, being on a tempo hero, can really shut the enemy team down with a rotation like that.
Dire's middle
Even
tower
parking
is under
Samael
attack.
in that mid lane as well to make sure that experience went to someone. So some nice recovery plays coming through there. Still haven't de-warded that observer ward. You'd hate to see that, you know, the time that he does actually make the rotation through and maybe drop down a sentry is, just as it expires. It's about a minute or so away, so it is very much a possibility. I'm just going to go all the way back, though. Doesn't feel comfortable about going past that first layer of trees there. He's just going to use the vision to be able to farm up a couple of stacks at the same time.
In your dream, he went treads this game. Is he just looking to try and tank up from the burst damage?
Tank up, but I think it's, also important just to be able to get off many attacks within the duel. Sure, you might be getting counter-attacked by the moment of courage, but that feast is going to do a lot, and you need to make sure that you're hitting, again, the Deucer many, many times. That feast does a lot.
That is a big kill. Seeing some big kills across the map. The Bob rotation top, but ends up falling mid. Yokam 2-1 and 2 at the moment. A great maneuver from him. Minimizing the potential of Bob to be able to snowball out of control this game. And Yokam, he's going to be able to snowball on forward for more. Alacrity getting 2 quick kills for himself. Even an Arcane Rune here to utilize. Urn's already completed. He's also thinking about building into a Midas as well. So looking to definitely try and scale into that later stage.
By 2 Midases actually as well, because CK, he's going into 1. They'll get the kill onto the AA. Pretty simple, kind of the same sort of thing as a Skywrath. Just well overstaying his welcome with Samael whenever a Tusk's in the vicinity. You have to worry if it is a little greedy, but I feel like go on this armlet on the Lifestealer. It's a decent amount of, damage potential if you do start to get dived, if they start to notice the Midas is being picked up.
Should be our first dual victory of the game here. And Ryu, does he do it a bit early? Actually, they don't have the damage. Okay, Yokam, very close. No, he unfortunately dies, but at least he's not the one to give away the first dual damage over to Enryu. And we see the priority that's also coming through as well from the side of Galaxy Racer. The ward, it did get taken away around the triangle, but more importantly, the sentry, it does now get pinged up from Samael, but I believe it's blocked 3 pull attempts, at least 2 that I've seen. So you're just seeing the recognition, like when you're against someone like a Medusa, really trying to limit her farm potential.
At least the hard camp wasn't blocked up for Marv's potential here. You've got the full movement coming through from
this is a great
down
smoke.
towards the bottom side. There's that second duel coming through.
Marv just gets ripped apart. You do see meanwhile as well though, Enryu finally able to get the dual victory over on In Your Dream. So he's now at 10 damage, but they did shut down the Medusa, and another ward's going to get placed as well. And now Samael's also going to get picked off here. Only level 5. He's got Zenki swinging. Bob as well. Ash will step in. Brings down Polison. Both the sports going to pay the price. Nice, just the snowball. Polison's actually still alive. Enryu should be able to claim the kill. Bob actually has to commit on forward, but they will get no help. Chaos Knight building into... Bye-bye, Courier. Again. He's going to go for another. No. Oh, he gets it.
Oh, they got no mana. He can just TP on away.
Cam, he runs into the Remnant. Unfortunate. Yeah, no mana for the Impale. They will now get the clarity coming through. Yokam, unfortunately, his teleport scroll is on cooldown. So it's space. Because meanwhile, you take a look at what's happening across the map. I mean, Mizu got a tier 1 tower. This is almost Midas completed. In Your Dream, farming a little bit down bot. Alacrity, he's got the recipe completed for the Midas as well. So he's also getting a decent amount of farm, but they're looking to smoke and head to top. Mizu is going very early without the team.
I mean, all this time that he spends going in onto the Medusa is time that the Medusa's not farming. So I feel like Mizu, this is how he changes up his style a little bit here. They've got the EMP to be able to go in onto this Medusa, so that is a dead snake lady.
Very good maneuver. 3rd death here from Mob. They just got his numbers so far. Unable to get a safe position across the map where he can kind of flash farm like the Medusa's looking to do. Range for Alacrity. Dust. It's just in the nick of time, but Radiant, they are looking to come over and collapse on Alacrity to protect him. Another great snowball. Drags on through, but it's going to set up for a 2-man Impale. Mystic Flare dropped as well. Alacrity will lose his life, but it looks like Galaxy Racer trying to come to clean up. As Mizu, Polo, even going to show up here. Ice Blast about to come back up as well, so Bob's going to be careful how long he wants to stick around. If Polo since able to get the ultimate off, will turn, drops the big one now with a 2-second stun as well, but Mom, he's looking to show up. Stone Gaze just trying to provide some distance, a little bit of space, drags back Mizu still. With the Stone Gaze on cooldown, he can get active, but Bob's not going to tick out. In fact, Bob wants to go back in. They're getting no help. In Your Dream is actually still just farming down bot, so Mizu with a 2-second stun, TP out, oh my. Unfortunately, the Midas is on cooldown, but he's more than happy to keep his life.
Keeping your life, of course. I mean, he was just left up there for the past about 6 or so minutes, and he's taken full advantage of it. I mean, Mizu, he was in no position, just wanting the max levels and wanting the Midas as quickly as possible. You can take the man out of the position 1 role, but, you know, it's in his blood. You know, he wants to get to that big farm, be able to contribute to the team with those hefty right clicks coming through.
You
see, the fact that they're 2 cores, the offlane as well, and even the Invoker, like this is just... They've already got their Midases, so now their scaling potential into the late game is definitely there. Do you, however, like the Midases though? Because you do... Yes, Medusa is someone who thrives in late game, so going Midases means you might have more of a potential to be able to mimic that late game prowess. But it does cost a lot of gold on an item that means you can't play as aggressive and up in the face of a Medusa when she's weaker.
Well, you say that, but Mizu was making the aggressive moves onto Marv right in front of their 2-2 tower.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's
I think it
middle tower
depends,
is
like,
under
particularly
attack.
for the Invoker as well, like what your role is in the game, you know? And I feel like going something like a Midas instead of, I don't know, Boots of Travel or something like that just changes up when you're able to, what you're able to do in terms of pressuring towers. Whereas, you know, you've got the CK that can do that. I mean, he's already been able to take the top tower on his own with the use of that first Phantasm. The Lifestealer as well, he's no slouch by any stretch. I mean, he's got the power treads, which of course enables him to just right-click a lot quicker. He's got the armlet. He's perfectly ready to just stand and fight. They're right underneath the tier 1 tower. Get revealed, and they actually go with a counter smoke straight into it. Not revealed immediately, so they'll know that they've backed off somewhat.
Mizu.
They're going to be able to place a ward up onto this high ground.
Smoke pop straight on top of incredible 3-man stun from Zenki. They get another duel victory, and Bob's even going to swing on over once again with the double Astral Step. They're looking to try and waste a lot of time as possible with the snowball. Shards blocks them both on the low ground. Means that Mizu can go to work, deals with one of the supports. They'll also get rid of the Legion Commander as well. Bob's damage, not really there at the moment with all the ultimate charges on cooldown, but Mizu's still not really in fighting shape as well. They're doing a great job to be able to control the Medusa. In Your Dream, can he chase him down though? Rage back up. Movement speed's going to be there to close the distance. Now that is the Rage on cooldown. If he looks to try and disengage, he's going to instead come back, try and protect Polo's son. But the damage will be there, so Polo's going to end up losing his life, but still In Your Dream, feeling incredibly strong at the moment.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
And it's strong enough to just dance away, though. He realizes that, look, I'm strong, but a 2v1, probably at this point, a little too much for me to handle. Great initiation, though. You mentioned it perfectly. Zenki is coming through in clutch. They're going to have the Aether Remnant to be able to set up on this. Not so much for the damage this time around. They're soaking up the damage together with this. It's not enough, though.
Oh, the initiations. That's 2 deaths in a row here for Alacrity. Press the attack. Bobs gets away, but actually Enryu wants to go back in with the Ice Park, gets a connection on 2. But regardless, they get the victory from the duel, and Enryu with the movement speed should be able to escape here. I say that though, Vortex slows him down. Mob with the Guardian on the higher gun, forces back In Your Dream.
I love this. Forget about all the other lanes. They're in, you know, pretty neutral spots. We just want to fight, fight, fight. This is Southeast Asia, baby. We're just going in. We're taking fights one after the other, and we've got 34 kills in 16 minutes. This is what we love to see.
A very even game as well. 1,000 net worth lead. We do see some space getting created across the map. Some dual victories coming out as well. 30 at the moment here for Enryu, and that could definitely get to a stage where that's going to continue to skyrocket with the damage that can come through from Bob along with Samael. What is Medusa? Okay, Sanjin Yasha for Mob. It's gonna be second in net worth. Yeah.
Straight into the Ags. He's gone the Blade of Alacrity first. Not worried so much about his survivability. Excuse me, considering he's got the Legion Commander available with the S&Y, that's going to heal him for even more. He's also got the Chip Vest that's going to help him a little bit in that regard. And so he just wants to speed up his farming potential as quickly as he can. Try and get to that Aghanim Scepter and that level, well, it'll probably be about level 16 by the time he picks it up. But still a pretty good timing coming through, and that double Ancient stack is definitely going to help. At the same time, SBE, they're making a rotation as well. This is exactly what you need to do as a Deucer lineup, but it's been a while since anyone's shown on the map, so Wise Scan coming through as well. And they're all grouped up together right now on Galaxy Racer around the tree lines at nighttime, so nothing's going to happen.
Feels like, though, that important item that I was speaking about, the Blink Dagger on Yokam, it's completed. Zenki, underneath detection. Yokam blink on forward, or sometimes he can use it aggressively to try and get a pickup, but now it's going to be on cooldown. He'll get bursted. 1 for 1 here.
Blink reveal, though. Very important to note, so now they might be playing a little bit more carefully, maybe even going for the Tusk as that first target for the duel or the Rod of Atos lockdown.
Mizu's actually gone into a Shadow Blade this game.
Wanted to get a little bit more active, I suppose.
See what the next item's going to be here for the offlane Chaos Knight, who is getting an immense amount of farm. 3rd in the net worth. Very good game so far. 4, 2, and 4. I feel like it's... Yeah, both teams have this...
pretty confident. He's just standing right on top of Enryu inside this Shadow Blade. They're gonna go for a play, but fogs himself. Nicely done.
No. Enryu.
Have the movement speed.
I think fog himself there. The Ice Path. Mizu's actually got to be careful. They're going to blink back in. Enryu. Got to be careful if Mizu can get the initial stun. He's going to run into Samael instead. Dust is out. Looks to turn to try and output the damage, but the Jewel, unfortunately, will come out before he's able to get the burst of the sky. So they turn, drops the Mystic Flare. That will get the kill on top of the Chaos Sign that instantly you see. Radiant, they do bring the numbers to try and bring down that tier 1 tower mid. It's going to end up costing Yokam his life. See that? Yes, it will. Bob, ulti on in.
Yeah, just getting a little bit too keen that time around. He was thinking, okay, I've got the 2 or 3 level advantage against this measly little Legion Commander, but, you know, at the end of the day, it's an LC. You've got the Moment of Courage. You've got the Blade Mail. He'd had a Essence Ring available as well, and some quick reaction time to be able to get into the fog. So maybe if he waited for the AA Ice Blast to come down to the bottom side of the river, that would have been very different outcome.
Alacrity. Can he be able to protect out? Spike Carapace locks in Ancient Apparition. Another dual victory now with the Atos as well. Snowball protecting Alacrity, but he's silenced for such a long duration that he can't use any abilities at the moment. The all-important one, however, will be that Shards. Locks in Enryu in no man's land here. Unable to get back up to the safety of the high ground. Sunstrike off the mark, but it's not going to matter. Nice use to blink. Spike Carapace again from Zenki. He's back to safety. Mizu's going to try and move in forward. Really do. Drag back 4-second stun as well, but Bob's going to look to show up here. Tornado, EMP. Great job to be able to control him. They have got any more damage? They do. Mob's actually already got the Aghanims completed. Force up a wave. Where's the detection? Resonant Pulse. It's just not there. And they haven't really identified the issue of the Lifestealer right now. Just freely right-clicking. Bob's going to try and get back to safety. Mizu, unable to walk up there. Senki's going to be careful, though. There's a sentry nearby.
I mean, this is an issue for the way that Southfield are taking these fights. You're perfectly right that the fact that the Lifestealer is able to just seemingly freely right-click away, and this is a Lifestealer that's got power treads. He doesn't have those phase boosts, so he shouldn't be able to just move around these team fights with reckless abandon like he is.
He's going to go into the Skadi next item too. So full tanky build here for In Your Dream. Really looking to survive that initial burst. Do you feel like he has to go this defensive because of the Tusk already having a blink completed?
I think it's going to be nice. I mean, you can just man fight into a Void Spirit anytime. You could tank up a lot of the damage that, you know, Samael might be looking to output onto. He's nearly level 12, so it's a nice little power spike as well for the Skywrath Mage. And of course, once the Reducer reaches that critical mass, you're just worried about what that's actually going to mean for you. And of course, more HP means that every little bit of lifesteal is worth more as well, because it's more HP that you're stealing back.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Do see Dire also trying to itemize though for that mobility factor. Like Sky's going to Force, Senki's got Force completed, so really looking to try and kite the lifestealer here. You know, even get out of shards. The Chaos Knight's always really annoying as well if he drags back Chaos Bolt, just getting a little bit of distance away. Because he's definitely a hero that kind of relies on bursting them down through that stun lock.
Even just in that fight, Enryu was caught inside of an ice wall and not able to get away, despite how tanky he is. With the maxed out press the attack, with the Essence Ring, with the Blade Mail, wasn't enough.
Alright, smoked up, mid. Bob showing. Gotta be a perfect start here from Yokam. Let's see if they get the punch fast enough for the follow block down. They will be able to. Great pick off. But can they lead it into Roshan? They should be able to. Especially with the tag team. Alacrity's got a fair amount of excellent points as well. They are getting set up here on Dire. Looking for a pick off instead. Hollow. Yokam's in the area. Snowball's actually still on cooldown, so gonna try and look to jump at a perfect
nice
tornado. Finds two. The EMP mana burn as well, but it looks like Marb looking to show up for the team fight here. Buyback's gonna come through. Yokam recognizing the importance of this team fight. If they can take it in their favor, it's gonna be able to net them Roshan as well. So Marb forced to push back. But Radiant are hunting. In Your Dream, if you can just get one hit for the slow Snowball as well to close the distance, drag back, Ice Blast, everything committed. But that's all you need to do. Bring down the Medusa, down for 60 seconds. And now they can think about walking in Roshan. I say think lightly, they definitely should be able to take it.
Yeah, if you weren't confident before after taking out Bob, you definitely are now. I mean, it's going to cost a Medusa buyback to do anything about stopping you, and they're just not in a position to do that. If you're buying back this early on a Medusa, unless it's for like a guaranteed team fight win, there's something seriously wrong there. Well, Alacrity uses Alacrity onto In Your Dream, but even with that big nerf, it's going to be enough to take down the Roshan for themselves, and even allow In Your Dream to play more of this ballsy style. You know, he's already going in deep with that Skadi finished up. Just going to stick with the Sanj, not needing to go anything further than that into the AC next. So, very beefy build. I like it. You know, he's just relying on the fact that LC, Strength Hero, Dusa, going to build into HP items. He's relying on the Feast to do damage, as opposed to himself. He doesn't need the items to do it just yet.
See even the item progression that it's coming through from Galaxy. The shard on Chaos Knight, Aghanim's picked up from the Invoker. So, some big items now getting picked up, and a spike for them with a 4,000 net worth lead. A lot of experience going their way as well after that team fight in Roshan.
Water Tornado as well by Alacrity.
Oh,
just
yeah.
Connecting onto 3, completely disrupting that team fight. I mean, he straight up saved that fight for Galaxy Racer.
Yeah, very big play from them. And they're almost Glimmer Cape on Polo. So that's going to give them a really big opportunity for if Yokam gets caught or can't get the Snowball save, they'll at least get some magic resistance, which is nice.
And we see some of these targets that are getting picked off. You know, that magic resistance, of course, very effective. Mizu, he's damn close to his own BKB as well. Almost guaranteed to get it with this creep wave. He's just roaming around, seeing if he can catch anyone that might be...
Brady got to be careful, actually. They showed that they split away.
Very
Nice
deep.
force stuff actually pushed him away from the Snowball. And Yokam's gone super deep here. Atos locks him in. Bob's lost a decent amount of mana. They need to look to retreat Alacrity. I don't think you want to protect your Tusk. That was a bit of a misplay there. Radiant, they were looking to try and get set up for a pick-off down bot. But the Ancient Apparition showed in the lane. I think Mizu also showed as well. Sunstrike.
Oh, the Sunstrike. Oh, got him.
Very nice. Oh. You get the T2 tower. trade of 1-for-1 in the end. Wait, he lost the Aegis? Okay.
Yep. Just sitting inside the Invoker right now. Looking for a bit of a surprise.
Can they get Mob?
Is he going to force stuff into this? No, he's just going to walk on up to him with that EMP.
He can be pop. No Stone Gaze. Mob's just going to try and TP up, but the Cataclysm is going to be fast enough. It is! Oh, that is a massive kill. He gets a double as well. Zenki dies somewhere. That was actually Mizu that I think was battling over against the Nyx Assassin. Oh, some incredible value coming in. Cold Feet prop. Mizu pops the BKB now with a 3-second stun. What's going on? Oh no, they both don't have buyback.
He was doing his best to try and cut the wave, but just missed timing his dissimulate by a small amount. I mean, you need to commit a bit further, and there's that save coming through from the Tusk.
Samael as well, 4-staff. Okay, just out. Yeah,
This is still looking pretty dire for them. This is going to be a pretty damn easy tier 3. Full lane of racks, almost guaranteed. Can even look to potentially go to the tier 3 on the top side. Probably not enough time to take the racks, but still. Let's call it 1.5 lanes. You'll take that.
Dire's middle barracks has fallen.
and they haven't really used too many big commitments as well. That's the nice thing about Radiant's lineup. No real ultimates. I mean, Ice Blast 40 seconds. Phantasm's really the big one with 75 only. And Legion's down though for 10, and that's how you set these fights. Even Bob as well. So they feel really safe to get that. I will say Mizu just TP's out, so the rest of the team have to retreat now.
I think they're fine with that. I mean, you've just taken so much away from them. You got a 3-man wipe on the team. You've staggered the death timers, so you're in no position to try and defend them on South Build. You take 1.5 lanes of racks.
Oh, they didn't even need it. He didn't even need the Cataclysm. Mizu, could be consideration now in these games. Like, Mizu has been showing up on the Chaos Knight. It is, you know, game 1 of the last series, game 1 of this series now. He is...
He's got his Blink Dagger now as well, so good luck if you're this Skywrath mage.
I have bunting for you.
Got an 8-second BKB on Mob, but the damage is... You see, he's got Skadi Rapier queued up. It's a 96% probability right now for Galaxy Racer. Massively.
Very solid. Especially with that AC as well, finished up by In Your Dreams, so he's just going to be doing even more damage to these towers. Marb is standing very deep here. I mean, the big strength of the Deucer is that you've got that ability to get a bit more range against. They're just going to force stuff the lifesteal right in. I don't think he cares, though.
In Your Dream, looking to reset. Jewel's gonna come through, forces him turn around, but again, the Ice Blast flows up as well, finds a connection on 2 mobs, tries to pop the BKB, look at a turn, but the Medusa's damage is non-existent at the moment. It's all up to Bob, however. 3-man silence on top of the backline. Polo, Yokam getting controlled. In Your Dream wants to go back in. Mizu's gonna show up as well. He needs to try and control up the snowboard, drag back, Rally Rift, 3-second stun. That's plenty. They'll get the catch on Bob. They do end up losing Alacrity. But they can move back and forth. They're actually going to blink aggressively. Mob's going to get caught out. The man is getting burnt with a 4-second stun as well. But the crusty attack is not enough. Mizu is doing it all up to his loans himself now. Will cost him his life. But you buy back on Bob. You buy back on Zenki as well. And Ryu. Ice Blast. Doesn't get the connection.
I think you're happy with the amount of buybacks that you forced all this time. Top lane's been pushing in, so the range racks ended up going down all throughout that. It's just solid team play all throughout, you know, some great team fight control coming from Alacrity. I think we've counted 4, 5 different saves that Jokam's been able to get through with that Blink Dagger, and that one was probably the most important of all. They actually had a way to bring down that Lifestealer if he was, you know, out of position slightly further, but
Let us
not going to be the case. He's even infested up inside of him. They're going to catch Zenki here.
Or Zenki. Oh, surely not. What? Wait, Brady? They're really split from the team. It's only 3 of them. They don't have the Medusa just yet. Maybe it can be the In Your Dream show. Rage on cooldown, Alacrity, Tornado. Gets a clip on 1, but the key target's going to be Bob here. Can they lock him in? He's actually going to go aggressively. 3-man silence Bob. No more ultimate charges to play with. Snowball still back up so we can kite them around. Enru, blink if he wants to go in. Hasn't found a target just yet. Sunstrike, Meatball, Zenki just ripped apart. Great ability usage from Alacrity. They're still going to be able to get the dual victory. Atos dropped as well with the Mystic Flare. They'll lose the secondary support, but a buyback coming through. They know the importance of this team for Galaxy Racer, but can they look to get any more kills? They cannot. Quick TP's out from South Built. But that's no buyback on Legion. That's also no buyback on the Nyx Assassin.
It just shows the importance of even at least getting the Atos in onto the Tusk so that he's not able to be there for that snowball potential. They're even able to take him out, force the buyback through, but...
Wait, they see Mob outside the base. Oh, Shards. A bit off the mark, but nonetheless, he's still really far away from any supports that's potentially going to come through. Stonegate used, Psyche Cape Band further away, but that's a dieback for Yokam in your dream. Rage gonna come through. They need to deal with all the rest of the heroes and then turn to the Medusa last, and they'll do just that. No more mana. BKB does nothing against all the physical damage. They'll rip her apart. Bob's even gonna get controlled as well. Cold Snap still getting the procs thanks to the urn. They're gonna blink further deep in the back line. What can you do? Mizu already level 25. Your buyback on your Medusa. Bob's still getting completely controlled versus Alacrity as well. Mob's got a little bit mana coming back thanks to the Mystic Snake. 4-star thing. Cataclysm Mob doesn't just get the connection. Meanwhile, Bob as well. He'll end up falling. No buyback. In fact, that's a dieback for him. 100 seconds on the deck. Mass tips coming out as well.
And waiting all the way. They're going to try and get a kill here.
Snowball?
In onto the Chaos Knight. Might not even be enough after all of this. Finally does take him down, but what's it going to cost him?
It didn't have the touch for that snowball. Down for another 13. So Mizu's going to buy back, but Enryu will fall. They're pushing back Mob. They need a little bit more in the tank here to deal with the Medusa, but they actually just call it quits. They're slow. He can't move anywhere. 100 movement speed. A depressing way to try and get back inside the base, but Galaxy Racer, a strong game one performance from them.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it felt like just a few too many kills were allowed to get in onto to Marb in the super early game. I feel like Zenki as well. You kind of... It was obvious what they were going to try and do with this Tusk Chaos Knight combo, and even just in the team fights, they perhaps had their target prioritization a little bit off. You know, as long as that Tusk was alive, it felt like every single time Yokam was able to get a clutch save off, and they just didn't seem to adjust until like maybe one of the later fights, but by that point the game was out of reach.
Yeah, it was. It was just also very impressed with Galaxy Racer with what they were able to do to kite a lot of these fights. Like we saw some really clutch tornadoes from Alacrity, the snowballs from Yokam in particular as well, and I wonder if this is gonna maybe force South Built to think about banning the Chaos Knight. I mean, Mizu went 10, 5, and 11, and this is not the only performance that we've seen from him today on an incredible Chaos Knight game. So I wonder, like, it's not a hero we see often, but if they're showing so much prowess with this hero on the new roster of Galaxy Esports, I should say, then you honestly might consider. But regardless, just a incredible kind of mid-game to late execution from Galaxy Racer. Going to be able to take game one here, and then we will have our last game of the night. Another day of 4 best of 2s, and we're getting to the later stages. One more game to close out tonight. After a quick break, we'll have game 2 of Galaxy Racer vs South Built Esports.